The Joe Rogan Experience.
I feel like there's a real movement towards what you guys are doing, though. I feel like it's the future. Because I feel like people are fed up with that Chris Cuomo shit. They're fed up with that Rachel Maddow shit. And no disrespect to either one of those people. But like Chris Cuomo was doing something the other day, and I was watching him where he's basically justifying riots.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, man, did someone write this for you? Is this how you really feel? Did you think this out? I think all I could get from that is Trump needs to be removed from office, so let's come up with some sort of a reason why he's responsible for these riots, and these riots are good, and these riots have been historically done when people feel powerless and weak.
Right.
That's all true. Look, it's a terrible position to be a young person right now. And this is what you see when you're seeing looting. You're seeing a lot of these fucking young white kids that have probably not a political thought in their fucking dopey heads. And they're just running in to get free Nikes. And that's really what's going on.
Yeah.
I've watched about 100 videos of people looting. I might have seen 4 black people. It's all these white kids stealing sneakers.
Well, it's kind of amazing, right? And this is what really gets me, which is that this is George Floyd's family has come out and said, please stop the violence. Please. I mean, how many times do you see that?
Well, you remember Rodney King after when the riots were going on? He's like, please, can we all get along?
Right.
Yeah.
And it was him personally.
I think that's like that piece, understanding who and why is important to understanding what to do, right? Because if it's just what I have seen hasn't just been, in terms of looting, I don't know specifically, but I think it's very easy to say, oh, it's just this type of person. It's just that type of person. And to take out of it any of the sort of like more radical, not just smashing up stores and that kind of stuff, but like graffiti and more, defying curfews and those sorts of things. And so if you view the problem as just like violent protest, like the problem is violent protesters, we have to deal with that, then that merits one response. And that's the direction that Trump is going in, is like call in the military, which I think is fucking scary, like calling in active duty military in every city in the country, like we saw with the protesters who got, the tear gas and the rubber bullets in front of the White House who peacefully protest. I mean, that shit to me is scary. And frankly, the fact that Democrats and quote-unquote journalists on TV have acted like the world is ending every time Trump does anything, when he does do something like invoke the Insurrection Act and say we're looking at sending the military into American cities, there is no more language of this is unprecedented, this is outrageous, this is, different than what we've seen in the past left, because they've burned that up on every single thing that Trump has ever done. They have cried wolf. That's exactly the case. Because I do think that this is a very different and very dangerous and volatile moment. But if you think that the protests are about the structure of a system that doesn't allow any redress for, problems that people have been peacefully protesting about for a long fucking time and not a thing has been done. If you think the protests are about, a political system that will offer you the quote unquote choice of Donald Trump, who's like the Central Park 5 dude and redlining with his daddy and denying black people housing, and Charlottesville's fine people on both sides, versus Joe Biden, who wrote the 94 crime bill, is unrepentant for it, was justifying it with Charlemagne just recently and saying Hillary's wrong to apologize for it, et cetera, who, as part of this whole thing, went out and said, police shouldn't be shooting people in the heart. Instead, they should shoot them in the leg, like train them to do that. Like, when you look at those two choices and you go, what kind of a fucking choice is this?
Yeah,
right? If you understand that as the legitimate part of the protest, then your response is going to be very different than it's just like, oh, these are bad people. These are people we should deem as terrorists. We have to crack down on them. Let's call in the military. That shit ultimately never works, because look at 19 years in Afghanistan. What do we learn? Yeah, you can take the ground. You can't hold it. You can't hold a society together with an aggressive, militarized response. That's not going to work over time. So if that's your only strategy, it's like, okay, then what? Then what are you going to do? Are we going to have curfews at 1 p.m. every day? Are you going to have militaries holding down American cities every day? Because you have a significant chunk of the population that will no longer consent.